I tried this one time I was promoting some of the candles that I sell from my shop, and there was a huge spike in candle sales.
You're listening to Thrive by Design, business, marketing, and lifestyle strategies for your jewelry brand to flourish and thrive. Let's get started.
Today, I have a very special guest on the Thrive by Design podcast. She is one of our first repeat guests, so I'm really excited to have her back. She's my favorite expert on Instagram. Today, I have Melissa Camilleri of Shop Compliment, the 21-day Insta course, and Insta Freedom. Melissa, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, I love being here. I'm so happy to talk with you today.
Well, I love having Melissa on the show because she is, to use Robin's words, a wealth of knowledge about Instagram. And she's been involved in the Flourish and Thrive Academy community for a very long time. First as a student, then as a community leader in our Diamond Insiders Club. And now we support her in her Instagram business, and we partner together, teaching people or you teach people actually, how to use Instagram better for their jewelry business. And we're, proud promoters of that. So we just love what you do. So thanks for being here again. And I'm excited to talk about some of the new changes that are happening in Instagram.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I owe you and Robin, and I say this all the time, but you guys have been so helpful in me launching my business and just teaching me the ropes of online e-commerce and jewelry. And I just love you guys. I have so much big space in my heart for the two of you. So thank you so much.
You are the best. Thank you so much. We feel the same about you too.
I know.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know Melissa and her brand, I'm just going to do a formal bio because I like to start the show to really announce who you are. So Melissa Camilleri is a former high school English and avid teacher turned designer and CEO of Compliment Inc., a jewelry and gift brand that seeks to uplift women through kind words or compliments included in each of her pieces. After increasing her sales by 400% in 2014 through the use of Instagram, Melissa created the 21-day Insta course to help fellow makers, designers, and small business owners leverage the social media platform to build better relationships, increase engagement with potential clients, and skyrocket sales. And you are really a master at that. So Melissa, once again, thanks for being here. So Melissa, it's really great to have you here again today. And I just would love to hear a little bit more. So for those of you who are listening for the first time and don't know Melissa, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about yourself and your journey.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So back in 2011, I was still a full-time teacher, and I was making jewelry just for fun, for gifts for me and my friends, my family. At the time, I was working with a group of seniors who were working so hard to overcome a bunch of obstacles, and they were just getting ready to apply for college, and a lot of them were coming up short financially. So I thought, what if I sell this jewelry, and on the side I could earn some extra money for scholarships for my students. I thought I was going to teach forever. I didn't really have an intention of starting a business. And so I thought whatever money I make, I can give away to these kids who really need it. And so that's sort of how Compliment was born. I was writing notes to friends and family who were purchasing from me, giving them compliments essentially. And that's how the brand was created. And since the very beginning, we set aside 5% of all sales for our scholarship program. And that still continues to this day. Back in 2013, early 2013, I think it was January, I came across Flourish and Thrive. And at the time, there was a bunch going on in my personal life that I decided I was going to take a leave of absence from teaching and really pour my heart into this fundraising project that I had come up with. I thought I was going to go back to the classroom, but I thought I could grow this idea. And so Flourish and Thrive, it came into my life, and I met you and Robin, and I learned so much, and during that time, I really put a ton of energy into building Compliment into the beginning stages of really what it is today. I never went back to the classroom after I took that leave of absence, and a lot of that was due to spreading the word on Instagram. I was using any free method of marketing that I could get my hands on because I was trying to do this on a shoestring. I didn't really want to invest a ton of my own money because I didn't really think it was a business yet. I thought it was a fundraiser still. And the more people understood the brand and the more people learned about Compliment, particularly on Instagram, the more word spread. And I started, I remember the first time I got an order from somebody who I couldn't track back to how they knew me. Like, is this a friend of a friend? Is this a friend of a friend of a friend? And so when it came up from somebody I had no connection with, it was like, oh my gosh, this thing is really cool. And sales just continually started to increase. And I got really focused on social media strategy the following year in 2014. And you said in the bio, that year my sales increased 400%. And I thought, this is something that's working. And a bunch of my business friends outside of the jewelry industry were asking me, how are you doing this on Instagram? Can you show us? So I pulled together a little training manual and started helping my friends here in Sacramento, where I'm from. And that kind of developed into this e-course, the 21-day Insta course that I know a lot of people from Flourish and Thrive, thanks to you and Robin spreading the word about it, have gone through. And I know that it's working because I see it helping so many people. And that is just, that warms my teacher heart to no end, because that's really the motivation behind this. It's to help as many people have the same kind of success. I love to see friends doing well and succeeding in their own projects and making an impact in their own ways in the world. So that's kind of how the whole thing started. And we've expanded now outside of jewelry into gifts. So we have glassware and mugs and clutches and all kinds of things. But the premise is still the same, that there's a compliment that comes on each of the products. So they're really good for gifting.
That is amazing. I love the evolution of your brand.
Thank you.
So great.
Always a work in progress.
Love it. Okay. So Instagram recently changed the option for the accounts to, you can have either a personal account or a business account. So tell us some of the benefits of switching over to a business account for Instagram.
They are still rolling out these changes as, at the time of recording. Not everybody has the option yet to switch over to a business account, but some people do. And I was offered this option on my Instagram, and I saw it just as a banner across the top. So when you open Instagram, that's how you'll know if you're offered this business account. And I was, given the option to switch over and try it out. And I'll be honest, I was a little bit hesitant at first. I didn't know if switching over to a business account was going to limit my reach drastically in the way that Facebook Pages has done with business, your business page. And we know that Facebook owns Instagram. So I was doing some research and Googling stuff and seeing, are people seeing a drastic decrease in engagement? And everything that I read was saying that it wasn't happening that way, that they were actually seeing some increases in engagement, and the tools that are offered to business accounts far outweigh any potential worries or reasons for caution. And so when you switch over to a business account, if you haven't done so already, what you'll notice is that at the bottom of every picture, you're able to, there's a couple of additional links that you as the account owner can see. And one of those links is for insights. And so you're able to check out the insights for each of your photos. And what that means is you can check the numbers of how many people did it reach. It's very similar to the information that you get on Facebook as well. So how many people did you reach? How many people engaged in your photo by either liking or commenting on it? And also there's information about when your users are most active. And I appreciate that, because even though there have been algorithm shifts and you don't see your photos in chronological order anymore in your feed, I have still found anecdotally that when I post during the times that my followers are most active, I am still getting more engagement than if I just posted at any old random time willy-nilly. And so...
Can I ask you something?
Please, yeah.
Where do you find that? Because I'm looking on my Instagram right now trying to find it, because I switched to a business account.
Yeah, let me go in right now. And...
So I'm looking, I can see the insights, but I'm wondering when you can find out how they're most active.
So if you go to your your main page where you can see your whole quilt, you'll see in the top right corner it looks like a little bar graph.
Insights.
Yep. And then it shows you your top posts from the last few weeks, and then it'll show when your followers are most active. Today we're recording on a Thursday, so it says Thursdays, and I can see that I have peak engagement at 6 and 7 p.m. my local time.
Oh, that's interesting. Mine's totally even, like pretty even, like within very little window between like 9:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. I mean, it's like, I'll take a screenshot and send this to you. That's so interesting. And then it dips like at 3 a.m. and 6 a.m.
Oh,
it's not that
really
much
funny.
of a difference. So I'm going to test it out more to see. That's so cool. I love it.
Yeah. So mine goes on a steady incline from about 6 a.m. through about, I think that's 5 p.m. And then you can see that the highest peak point is 6 p.m. my local time. So that's lately when I've been trying to post. And a couple of posts ago, I hit it right at 6 p.m. or 5:45, something like that. And I got the most likes that I've gotten in a really long time, like within probably the last month. 729 likes on a picture, which is awesome. So the cool thing about using those insights is that the way that the algorithm is working right now is that the more people who see and interact with your photo, the more people Instagram will show that photo to in your following. And it's similar to Facebook as well. Like the things that get shared the most are the things that you'll see with higher priority in your feed.
Okay, cool. So I'm looking at Flourish and Thrive right now.
Uh-huh.
And we have a little bit more of a wave, but I'm going to get, I just switched it over. So I feel like we need another week of data to see when the spikes are, but it's cool. This is so cool to see. Okay, awesome. Thanks for workshopping that with me.
Sure, no problem.
So that's so cool. I love hearing about the insights and how, the business account, how you can really use those insights to get more reach and get more people liking your photo. And it shows for you got like 700 people liking a photo.
Yeah.
What are so we talked about some of the pros. Can you tell me a little bit more about some of the cons?
Yeah. Well, can I do one more pro really quick?
Oh, absolutely. Let's keep the pros coming. Keep the pros coming.
One of the other things that I really like on here, and this gets mixed reviews because I know for a lot of people, change on social media is very, very hard, to adapt to. I don't mind when it happens. It just means that there's something new to learn and I have to adjust accordingly. So one of the things that I actually appreciate about this business account is that I'm able to promote posts right within the Instagram app. So every photo that I post gives me the option to promote it, just like I would on my Facebook page. And so I really like that because if I'm running a promotion, for example, I can choose to boost this post. I can say, if I hit the little promote button, it's a blue button on the right-hand side of each picture. It says, what do you want people to do? Visit your website or call or visit your business? Well, I want people to visit my website because I have a web-based business. And it allows you to select your button text, to set your budget, to let Instagram create an automatic audience of your followers, or you can create your own audience. And then you can say how long you want this promotion to last. So I've tried this one time with, I was promoting some of the candles that I sell from my shop. And there was a huge spike in candle sales over the duration of those 3 days that I was promoting the candle post. And so it just means more people are seeing it. And I appreciate that I'm able to do that directly in the Instagram app, as opposed to if I were going to run an ad on Instagram, a full-blown ad, I have to go and set that up over on Facebook. And so it takes me out of the app. It takes a little bit more time. And if I want to just promote something on the go, I just click on that, I set my budget, and I hit promote, and I'll get a notification that my promotion was either accepted or declined, and I can adjust accordingly and then go on about my day and the orders start rolling in. So if I'm looking to spend some advertising dollars, I can do that super simply with that business account switch on Instagram.
So quick question.
Yeah.
You can promote it. The same post lasts for 3 days, right?
For however long
you want. So that image will keep showing up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I had another question. Now I can't remember. That's all right. It'll probably come back to me.
We'll
We'll keep talking. Okay, cool. So, what I wanted to ask is why would it get declined? Are there parameters for the promotion? That's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah. So Facebook, Instagram's parent company, has set up advertising guidelines where you cannot promote a post that's only text. It has to be some sort of visual photo.
Okay.
It can't be like a textual one. And that's usually what it is. I think that text cannot be more than 20%.
Okay, that's still a rule. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
And no vulgarity and, you know, stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Okay, cool. So what are some of the cons of switching over to a business account since we went through some of the huge benefits?
Yeah, so I think that the cons are really just unknown at this point. You know, for people who have been in the online world of marketing for some time and they remember what it was like before Facebook pages got really limited in order to have businesses, like to require businesses to get their posts to be seen, that they would have to pay for their pictures to show up to boost their posts or run ads. I think that there is some caution that Instagram is going to go that way down the road, and it will only be the business accounts that have their reach limited. So as of right now, I haven't seen that to be the case. And I would say that the only con is that may be coming down the pike, although we don't know. Everything that I've read has said that the creators of Instagram, even though they were bought out by Facebook, still have some say in the way that Instagram, in the way that the platform conducts its user experience. And that was one of the things that they didn't want to have happen. But we always have to remember that Facebook and Instagram, their businesses just like any of our businesses, and they get to make the decisions, not us. And so my thoughts about all of social media is that things are going to change. That's the only thing that we can expect, is that they're going to change. And what we have to do is just learn new ways of adapting to those changes. So if it does happen that our reach gets limited, then we'll adjust our sails and figure out how to manage otherwise. But for now, I'm not really seeing any cons. I only see more pros in the immediate.
Okay, awesome. I love that. Okay, so Instagram just launched this new thing called Instagram Stories. By the time this airs, it's not going to be so new anymore. I'm sure everyone's going to be using it. But I think it's going to be a great tool for jewelry businesses when they're using Instagram. So can you tell us a little bit more about Instagram Stories?
Okay, so Instagram Stories have totally taken a page out of Snapchat, another social media platform, and pretty boldly, actually, because it's almost the exact same product as Snapchat Stories. Instagram Stories are housed right in the Instagram app. It's very easy to notice because it's just along the top bar of your feed. And you'll see a little plus sign in a circle, and then a whole bunch of circles with rainbows around them, like a rainbow ring around them. And that shows what accounts have current stories that are available for you to watch. The thing that I really like that differentiates Instagram Stories from Snapchat Stories is that you're able to interact with the person who has posted it. So an Instagram story lasts for only 24 hours and then it goes away. It's not a part of your full, what we call in the Insta course, your quilt, which is like your grid of pictures. It doesn't last there. So you're able to share some things that aren't as carefully curated. It's a really good tool for behind the scenes. It's a really good tool for informal video where you're just like showing off your products, or if you have like a little stand for your phone to record your hands making something.
Yeah.
If you want to show behind the scenes of what's going on in your normal life, that's totally okay too, because there's less of a sense of formality. Not that Instagram is a super formal place, but because your photos live within your quilt, you want to be really conscious and intentional about the content that you're putting there, as opposed to the content that you can now put in your story. It lasts for 24 hours and then it disappears. I think that with Snapchat, the hard thing is that all you can see is that people have viewed your photos, but you can't interact with people on their story very easily. What's great about Instagram is that it says directly on a particular photo in your story or on your page, send message, and you can directly message that person, and it will show up in your direct messaging inbox as that person interacting with you. And so that's the reason why I love Instagram as a platform in general, is that there's so many opportunities for you to build relationships with the people who are following you, and to answer questions, and to comment back and forth to one another. So I really like the Snapchat Stories feature. I think it's super fun. I think it gives us as marketers a lot more freedom to get, silly, or to kind of, I wouldn't say share stuff that's totally off brand, but again, you don't have to be so worried about the curation of your feed. You can, for example, my mom's birthday was this last weekend, and my dad made homemade pasta, and it was so beautiful, the way that the pasta was drying on the rack by the red KitchenAid mixer. And so I took a snap of that, and I put happy birthday to my mom. My dad's making pasta, and it totally doesn't fit in with my jewelry feed at all, but it does show a behind the scenes of my family and how we celebrate together, which is sort of part of my brand. It just wouldn't be a picture that I would want to live in my quilt forever. So it disappears after 24 hours, and it's all good. So I really like the feature. I think it's fun.
I'm want to try and do one right now while we're on the podcast. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's see. What it's like. My apartment is. Hey, how do you do it? You just. Oh my gosh.
If you hit the little plus button.
Okay, so I'm doing a live Instagram feed. I look like I'm sitting in the dark, but we'll do it. Hey designers, I'm on the podcast with Melissa Camilleri. We're talking all about Instagram. There's Melissa. Say hi, Melissa.
Hi.
This is awful, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, so that was fun. Instagram story fun. While we're on the podcast.
When this airs, no one's going to be able to see it because it just appears 24 hours later. But it'll be fun for everybody to listen to it today. They'll know that it's coming.
That's so fun.
So yeah, I really like it. I think that there's the ability to actually use Instagram stories to sell more product. And I tried this out as a little experiment last week or 2 weeks ago when Instagram stories first dropped. It was maybe 3 days in. And I thought, let's just do a little experiment and see how this works. So can we talk about
let's do it.
sales tactics? Okay. So I have these clutches that are hand embroidered. They're so beautiful. And my photos, I don't think do them justice. Even professionally lit, professionally taken, they don't show texture as well as I would hope. And so I recorded a series of videos on my phone. And I think that they're only 10 seconds long. So that's why I had to do a series, because I had more to say. And I just held my phone out in front of me like I was doing a selfie or a little recording video. And I said, these clutches are so cute. Look inside. They're satin lined. They're all hand embroidered. The zipper, look at how cute the zippers are. And for the next 24 hours, I'm going to throw in a free pair of our Grace earrings, which are right here. Check them out. And you're able to kind of twist the box around and show picking up the light and everything. And so jump on that if you want to. I'll put the link in my bio. And so I did. And it was like a $400 sale within, 2 hours. It was great.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And so there was a sense of urgency already built in because those videos only last for 24 hours. So the people who didn't see it in those 24 hours missed out. And the people who did see it, they knew that they had to jump on it right then because it was going away. And I love that because urgency is, when you create that false sense of scarcity, that's a way to really help generate sales. And there were several people who bought multiple of those clutches to receive multiple free gifts. And that was okay because financially, I had a pretty good margin on the free gift that I was including. Right. I didn't discount the bags that I needed to sell, and I moved a lot of product that had been sitting for a couple of days or a couple of months. And so it was like win-win all around, generated some extra sales in a slower summer month, and it was great. So I really recommend it. I don't think doing that every day is necessarily beneficial. However, leading up to the holidays, I think that's really super fun, where you're like, okay, today's daily deal is, buy one of these, get one half off. We're doing a free gift today, or this particular earring is 20% off, and do a different something every day. Oh my gosh, I think that could be awesome.
Yeah, it's almost like you could do early Black Friday sales all in October and early November.
Yeah, totally. And the thing about Instagram stories too, is that people, even if they've opted in to be a follower, you're not bombarding them with post after post after post of like all your sales stuff, where it clutters up your feed and it's annoying. If people are not in the mood to buy, they don't have to like be bombarded with your ads, basically your sales ads. With Instagram stories, they can still be a part of, your followers can still look at your beautiful feed, and yet they have to, it's almost like they're opting in to see what your story is, because they have to go click somewhere else. So if they're not interested, then they don't have to click that. So you're not ruining, it's almost like a secret little thing that you're letting your insiders in on. And I love that feature. I love the psychology behind it. I love what it gives us opportunity-wise as marketers. Yeah. It's fun. I say just like experiment with it now, before the holidays come, just like play around with it. Show off some pictures, do some behind the scenes videos, ask questions to people and see if you can get people to respond to you.
I love it. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah. And, neither of us are big fans of sales. Like, you don't necessarily want to discount things, but you could, like, let's say you're doing like, just like you want to get rid of like one piece of jewelry, like you have a couple extra inventory, you could do like a flash sale almost even.
Oh, totally. Like a de-stash kind of sale, or I have one of these left. Who's going to
exactly try to get rid of it.
First person to message me gets this. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Okay. So I love all these ideas. Any other ideas that you think you can use Instagram stories for?
Well, I would say in general, it's just another extension of a way that you can build community and show off the parts of your brand, because our brand is more than just our product. So what other brand assets do you have that are part of your overall brand story? That's the stuff you want to be really highlighting in your Instagram stories. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, a perfectly curated picture. Sometimes our brand assets are hard to show in just a photograph. So it could be you talking on video. It could be video. If your brand is about being a mompreneur, for example, you can show videos of your kids playing at the park, and it's not so far-fetched, So I really think that it opens up a whole additional door to build a really nice 3-dimensional brand on Instagram.
I love it. I'm so excited. I have so many ideas. I was taking notes while we're doing this of things that I can do. So I'm about to get my production manager is about to arrive, hopefully in the next hour, with a piece that I'm handing off to a client. So I'll take it behind the scenes, and then maybe one of the packaging or whatever.
Yeah.
So real quick, this is more of a technical thing. If you let's say you needed to hold, the camera needed to be held still for whatever you're doing because you need both hands. How do you record? Don't you have to push the button down?
You do have to push the button down, so you have somebody record it for you.
Okay, that's what you have
Or to do. I have a selfie stick that has a button down close to me, but the camera is far away, and if I hold the button down, it'll record.
Oh, I need to get a selfie stick. I've been resisting. For 2 years, I've been resisting the selfie stick.
Oh my gosh, I highly recommend selfie sticks. They're the best. And you can get them on Amazon for super inexpensive, and they're pretty, they work pretty well. There's also ways that you can record outside of your Instagram story and then post it.
Oh, you can?
Yes. So if you go into your camera app and you would record a video.
You record a video, 15-second video, and then you can, and you can upload it.
Yeah. And you upload by, okay, let me go into my Instagram story to make sure I'm saying this correctly. But you can push the little plus button, and then if you drag your finger down, I don't know if you're doing this.
Wait, hold on, I'm trying to.
Okay. You'll see the pictures that you've taken or videos you've taken in the last 24 hours that you can upload.
So if you push on the button, you drag down?
Oh, push on the plus button, and then it'll take you to like your Instagram story, like where you can start recording.
Uh-huh.
Right? And from the recording screen, if you drag your finger down from the top down.
Oh.
So you can post pictures or videos that you've taken in the last 24 hours, even if it is not within Instagram.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so you can record in other places.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I probably just posted another Instagram story on accident, but
that's okay. I'll go and check you out. I'll comment back.
I think that there is one here. It's like showing all my stories. How do I get out of it? Cancel. There we go. Okay, I just canceled it.
Okay.
All right, workshopping live on the podcast. You gotta love it.
Pretty awesome.
So real quick, before we go, I just wanted to ask you, because we've been hearing a lot about Instagram auctions in the Flourish and Thrive community, and I know they're not brand new, but can you tell us a little bit about auctions, what you think they could be used for, and a real quick debrief on some of the pros and cons there?
Yeah, so Instagram auctions are pretty much exactly what they sound like. It's when you run an auction for your products on Instagram. So you would post a picture of a product, and in the comments, you would say starting bid is $50, and you must increase bids by increments of $5, let's say. Mm-hmm. And, this product closes in 1 hour or 24 hours or however much, time limit. And then in the comments, people can raise the bid. And the final bid, if nobody bids after that person, then you would send them a PayPal link, or however you do your invoicing, and then they check out that way, and then you would ship them that way. So it kind of takes the sale outside of your e-commerce platform and helps you sell directly from Instagram.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. I mean, I think that there could be some decent potential to destash some things, especially if you are doing a lot of one-of-a-kind pieces, or you have some things from last season where you don't have enough to really list it on your website, but you want to get rid of it. So there's some options for auctioning. I would say that some best practices that I've seen for people who are successful at Instagram auctions, I would say the first and foremost that there's a brand who does this really well. And it's I don't know if she does only auctions or if she does this like just for sales and destashing, but she has a separate Instagram account for her, like for the people who want to opt into her special sales or her special auctions. That is the candle company at Candles, Candelles. And you can check her out and do a little, search for her Candles, like sales or whatever it's called. She chose to do that because, and I see this working well, because when you have created an Instagram following and your followers are used to a certain kind of inspiration or education or delighting them with your beautiful photos. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it's like, here's auction item number 1, auction item number 2, auction item number 3. It turns a lot of people off. Mm-hmm. And I did this way early on, and back in like maybe 2012, 2013. Mm-hmm. And I lost a ton of followers doing it because people weren't stoked on seeing that in their feed, because that's not what they signed up to see. They had signed up to see inspiration from my account. And so that is a possible pitfall. And so a best practice would be to post a picture that says, hey, we're going to run an auction over the next week for some products. If you're interested, go follow us over at this.
Oh, so a separate account. Okay, yes. Cool.
So it's only advertised to the people who actually opt in, who are choosing to see those auction items. And I think that is beneficial because they know what to expect. And then you're keeping it separate from your special brand feed. It helps you maintain the integrity of your brand, I think, on your main feed if you do a separate one for auctions or your special sales or destash stuff. Otherwise, I think it can almost cheapen your brand by saying like, well, how much do you want to pay for this? $20, $25, $30, you know? And you don't want to create the environment in your brand where things are just being nickeled and dimed. And I feel like auctions are a little bit like that. They have that kind of flair. That's why people like them. But it doesn't work for every brand. If you have a luxury brand, I think doing an auction might be kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't do an auction.
No. And I don't, that's why I choose not to do them either, because I don't want to train my followers that they can get this at like a knockoff price somewhere else. You know, I want them to purchase through my website and at full price.
Awesome. Thanks so much for all that information, my dear. So you have a little gift for our readers. Why don't you tell us our listeners? Well, maybe they're reading the blog post, but hopefully they're listening.
Yeah. So I have a free download. It's a little workbook called How to Build an Engaged Community on Instagram. And it walks you through the thought process that we use at Compliment and that I train my students on in the 21-day Insta course. It's just like a snapshot of what you'll get from the course. Really thinking about your ideal client and really thinking about who you're trying to reach on Instagram and how to connect with them through emotion and shared values. And so it'll walk you through some things that you can think about in order to do that better on Instagram. So it's a fun little workbook. As a former teacher, I love making workbooks. It's so fun.
You're so good at them too.
Thank you. So that is a little free gift for anybody who's listening that you can go ahead and go download that.
Yeah, you can grab that over at flourishthriveacademy.com/Instagram community. flourishthriveacademy.com/Instagram community. And then we'll also have that available in the show notes, so make sure that you check it out.
Cool.
All right, Melissa, thank you so much for being here today. You're amazing.
You're amazing. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's always fun to talk to you.
All right, bye.
Bye.